Hey all, and welcome back to the finale of the HellfireComms playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Oh, it's been a long time coming, but it's time to finally assault Hyrule Castle. And we've got a few options here. We can, of course, go directly through the front gate. We can do that. But there's also the docks around the northwest side, and plenty of other options besides.
Obviously, the most badass option is going straight through the front doors and laughing as you make your way in to destroy everything.
Vaporize every guardian that stands in your path, assist every Korok siege, just yank them along with you. It's just like bolting through the gate.
You can't catch me, you fucko. Now what I'm looking for here is actually the docks, so if you guys happen to see an entrance, let me know.
So I think for the docks you do need to effectively head all the way around to the back entrance of Hyrule Castle. So you're going to have to do a bit of a jog around this ledge here, but I mean, we've got time.
Basically, you just want to make sure you find the cave that's here at basically the base of the castle. The castle is on this big pedestal surrounded by the moat. Surrounded by... I forgot, that was in the diary that we read earlier, that the big structures here that are around the castle are actually like where the guardians were stored underground before like the structures rose up and released them onto Hyrule.
Yep.
Like, that's insane.
That's pretty cool.
So it's like they're just giant tanks of just like multiple guardians. Like if you could see inside them, just filled with like deactivated guardians.
They're like the big robot containers from like Star Wars Episode 1, the one that I had a figure of because it was so cool.
Oh, was it like made of Legos or something, or just like an official thing?
I had both a Lego and a plastic one because Star Wars Episode 1 was kind of my favorite movie as a kid.
My goodness.
In terms of like going to the cinema, Star Wars Episode 1 is the first film that I ever actively remember going to the cinema to see. And I remember it's a weird one because for some reason my dad took me into his workplace for some bizarre reason, and I remember getting given a cookie. And then we went to go see the film, and I loved it, and I loved Jar Jar Binks, and...
I did too, don't worry.
To be fair, I was the target market for Jar Jar Binks when I was the age I was, so it worked.
My goodness. But how was the cookie?
I remember the cookie being delicious, but it's just one of those like odd memories where you look back and you just go, oh, okay, that's a thing that happened.
What a fool.
Who needs timing when you can have a best friend?
Exactly. That's why I'm glad you guys are here with me, here at the end of all things.
Aww.
Now, where the fuck are these dogs, you useless bastards? Help me out here.
I think you've still got to keep going further around.
Hey.
Basically, if you look at your map, I do believe that the docks, if you keep spinning it round...
Right round, baby, right round.
So, I mean, there's an entrance there, but the docks are literally that one at the bottom at the back.
Yep, I see it, mate.
So we still got a little ways to go, and that's alright. You can pretty much book it right to the entrance very fast where you need to go, and when you do that, like I remember I got to the center and I'm like, I didn't explore almost any of it, and I'm like, that was a lot easier than I thought to get into it because you can just skip most of it. But there is some good stuff to be found if you make your way through and go down to its depths for sure.
Yep, one thing in particular is very useful.
Mm-hmm.
The East Passage, you say? I don't think that's where we need to go right now, but it's another option.
I am glad that in the game that where they decided to go full non-linear, kind of change up the formula structure for the game thus far, that they went in a new direction for designing the final boss dungeon here, this final area, this final the Hyrule Castle area, just because it's a tradition in the Zelda games to always have your final dungeon before your final boss confrontation. You had Death Mountain, which was basically like a super dungeon gauntlet, and then A Link to the Past had also like a super dungeon gauntlet, and then it kind of got like toned back down and just kind of became like a dungeon that at least had you go through reminders of the previous dungeons in the game. So I like how this one, it's basically its own unique exploration dungeon full of stuff that, like you guys said, you can choose to exploit or not. You can come to this place with a mission.
I mean, I would say that if you are, if you've come here and you're just like, I just want to get to the end of the game, then what I would recommend is that you take a little jaunt over to the Lockup, which is kind of pretty close to the entrance of Hyrule Castle. It's basically towards the... If you're looking at Hyrule Castle from the front entrance, it's over on the left-hand side, somewhere in the midst of everything, because the best shield in the game is located there. And then you just want to head straight up to the big glowy point in the castle. That's your end goal.
So we are now officially inside Hyrule Castle, good and proper.
Oh, and it should be said, the music here is absolutely amazing. It is a remix of multiple Hyrule Castle themes, but in particular, when I heard the bit of Link to the Past, because that one, like that Hyrule Castle theme is so nostalgic for me, I did feel some big feelings inside, I will say.
Oh.
Did you have an emotion as well? Because so did I.
No, I did. Oh, I felt big emotions, and I'm not even like the hugest, Zelda nut for emotions. Like there's other game franchises that give me those feelings more, but it was hearing that little twinge of Link to the Past that made me go, they remember my childhood.
Oh.
Well, hey, it's the library.
I'd say this is probably the most important room of the castle, aside from the final boss room.
Yeah, this one's pretty expansive, honestly.
Do you also like the direction that they take here with some environmental storytelling as well?
Got him.
I mean, you did. Not to be an IGN game review, but like, it definitely kind of shows that like maybe someone played a Dark Souls game. And they're like, oh hey, we can totally also like have spooky gothic storytelling through items in our video game as well. So I do like what they kind of dabble in with some of the stuff they have here in the Hyrule Castle.
Ah, a book. Fruit cake. Boil any 2 or more pieces of fruit with demand for wheat and cane sugar for a good while. Clear your head, help you focus. Very particular thing there. Maybe don't tell the king about that. Yeah. I believe there's another one on the upper level. Oh my god, there's just a guy scurrying about over there. Hello.
3 books, if I recall.
3?
I'm pretty sure, at least. I could also be super wrong.
There is also the King's Diary.
Ah, the writings of Rhoam, Bosphorus, Hyrule. So yeah, you were right, 3 books. Today, as the sun rose and a new day was born, my daughter too joined this sweet world. In keeping with the traditions of the royal family, I have decided to name her Zelda.
Shocker.
Sorry, I just wanted to get dramatic there for a second. I am not a man accustomed to frivolous musings, but now seems as good a time as any to begin my royal memorandum. Reports keep arriving regarding the excavation of relics. The fortune teller's predictions seem to be coming true. Who is that fortune teller? Who knows? Calamity Ganon was not a figure of fable or even of legend. He actually existed for realsies in our great land of Hyrule. We must investigate all the relics, learn as much as we can, but understanding the divine beasts alone will take time. Zelda's eyes lit up like a wildfire when I told her about the relics. I must admit, she has a knack for research. Richie, this one's you.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. My queen has left this world. Her death was so sudden and unexpected. I awaken most nights, unsure if she is really gone. Zelda never cried, never faltered. Not even during the royal funeral or later when she and I were alone with our grief. I must assume her strength is a result of us repeatedly informing her of her duty to be a valiant and steady princess. For a child of merely 6 years of age, her conduct was truly that of a born leader. Her strength gives me hope. From now on, I must raise her all alone. Now, only I remain to prepare her for her difficult future as Princess of Hyrule.
Mexi, this is you.
Zelda finally reported back after her visit to the fountain. It seems her sacred sealing power has yet to awaken. It has been a year and 3 months since her mother passed. Perhaps she is held back by a heartache too deep to heal. If the Ganon prophecy wasn't looming over our heads, I would tell her to take her time, to wait until she was ready. But our situation is dire and leaves no room for weakness, even on behalf of my beloved daughter. My heart breaks for Zelda, but I must act as a king, not a father, and must order her to train relentlessly at the fountain.
This one's you, Tanner.
I was told Zelda went off to research ancient technology, so I had no choice but to confront her about it.
There's like a southern twang in there. Well, I say you better stop messing with those relics.
She claims that she was simply using her day off from training to indulge in a bit of research, but still I scolded her.
Okay, you can stop that now.
She won't get it through her head, forcing me to tell her the same thing I have been repeating ad nauseum. The reason her sacred powers still won't awaken is because she's spending all her efforts playing at being a scholar.
It's me. In truth, I understand Zelda's feelings, painfully so. She lost her mother, her teacher, maybe a robot, who knows, before she could learn from her. 10 pointless years of self-training without so much as a book or note to help her find her way. Those in the castle talk behind her back, and I, her only family, scold her for her shortcomings. No wonder she wishes to hide away in her beloved relic research. I'd love nothing more than to console her. But I must stay strong. She must fulfill her duty, just as we all must, even if she comes to despise me. I'll do the rest. I have been told my Zelda went to the Spring of Wisdom. This will likely be her last chance. If she is unable to awaken her power at Lanayru, all hope is truly lost. If she comes back without success, then I shall speak kindly with her. Scolding is pointless now. I forced 10 years of training on her, and after all that, it seems her power will stubbornly awaken some other way. Perhaps I should encourage her to keep researching her beloved relics. They may just lead her to answers I can't provide. For now, I sit anxiously, more a father than a king in this moment. I sit and await my daughter's return, and he would never see her come back, sadly.
So I do believe there is actually one other recipe book in the library.
It's on the second floor room. God, he's a jumpy one.
That dude with 138 HP just listened to us and is like, oh, so sad. So sad.
I'll tell you what this reminds me of. It's the Hyrule Castle in Wind Waker, actually.
With all the sepia tones.
Well, not just that. It's just going up to, like, another floor and, just taking out bad guys on there.
I suppose in a way it's also... It also reminds me of Twilight Princess, actually.
I was going to say that too.
It's the mood of the Hyrule Castle, because in both you're dealing with Hyrule Castles that are partially destroyed,
that have fallen,
looking sort of sad and fallen, and it's very melancholy, I suppose, is the way I want to describe it.
To be fair, you really don't ever really explore a Hyrule Castle that is not in a state of disrepair or being taken over or melancholy.
I mean, that's true.
It's in the title of the game, the Legends of Zelda. Most of the time, the done bad's already happened, and the Link's gotta figure it all out how to try and make it better.
Oh. Well, I'll be jiggery jabbing another stone smasher.
So, I mean, clearly, not that special of a weapon after all, since they've just got them lying around here in the castle, like bloody hell.
Yeah, you heard that? You fucking ghost Goron? You ain't special.
You ain't special. He was the hero of his people, beloved by many. He ain't special. Damn.
Actually, how's my armor doing right now? Because I decided to just go with the hat for shits and gigs. 44.
I went with the hat for nostalgia, and I can't blame you.
We can do better than that.
Yeah, since we're getting deeper into the castle, more defense is required.
The enemies are strong.
I'm not entirely sure we can get through here unless I can just climb around.
Maybe. If not... Hey!
Oh my god.
Ow, ow, ow.
And then just give him a pop to the eye, and then we could go back if we wanted to. We're never going back to the library.
Nah, we got everything we need. Fuck a book.
But the lore.
I know. I know.
And I was gonna say at least take a book out on a date first, but...
Well, yes. And I mean, you know, randomly, since if you're looking for a book, there is always mine that you can purchase on Amazon.co.uk.com, The Burning Ash.
God damn, Richie. God bless you.
Hey, I've got to try and make my hustle somehow.
I guess. And it is fair, all things considered.
You hustle that hustle, dude.
Alright, I guess we can explore the mid-tier of the castle now, and go down from there, actually. Because there is a little something that we need to acquire.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing that I was like, you know, out of all the stuff you can get through here, there's one very important item, both thematically and in my eyes, aesthetically.
And it is in the Lockup.
The Lockup, eh? Cool. I think there's a way to get to the dungeons from out here, actually.
I believe there might be, yes, because if I recall when I played, I'm pretty sure that I went... Not that route.
No, that helped, though. That helped.
But I went the route where you supposed to swim up the waterfall on the left-hand side of the entrance to Hyrule Castle, and that effectively puts you, if not right at, but really close to the West Passage. And the West Passage basically takes you straight into the Lockup. So that was effectively my route into the castle. That was the route I took, because it was like, well, it's going to get me there quicker. And it did.
See, I managed to, I took the moat around, so like I went around the whole base pillar until I got to right under where you get the Zelda memory. I basically turned like, well, no, because I did get the Zelda memory, then went back to get the cutscene, came back, and I actually kind of just used that as like my rally point, so I just went right back to where I got the Zelda memory, and then from there, I managed to make it into the library, because that was definitely my second stop there. Before, really, once I had gotten to the library, I was like, I'm done. I've explored now. I've gotten a few goodies. Like, time to finish this game. So at that point, I just made a beeline upwards towards the inner sanctum.
I mean, that was my approach as well, pretty much. In terms of got what I needed, and then just like, right, thanks, I'm off.
Yes, the precious sapphire. Just going to do one thing here. What don't I need? That can piss off. Is this the waterfall you were talking about, Rich?
No, the waterfall is on the other side of the bridge.
Okay. By going in the right direction, would you say?
You are, yes. Basically, we need to get to the other side of the main bridge. And then there'll be a route in there somewhere.
We'll get it, don't you worry. Ah, there's the main the main entrance.
If you really wanted to, or if you're just really, really good with ancient arrows, yeah, you can just walk right, just take the path, and just walk straight up to Ganon and punch him in the face.
Ow. That's what I get for not paying attention, I suppose.
Good news is our fancy schmancy diamond circlet makes that be a lot less painful.
Yeah.
It still hurts, but a lot less.
So around here somewhere, would you say, Rich?
I believe that is roughly where the waterfall is.
I think you're actually running straight towards the waterfall right now.
See, there's an entrance.
So this might be the west passage?
I guess we'll see soon enough.
Oh, cool. Cryonis usage.
Yeah. Okay, that's up there. Doesn't really go down anymore. Just have a little shufty poo in here, see what's what.
Yes, so I think if we turn left...
It's all part of exploring, so if we don't find it right away, it's no big deal. You fool!
Just mess him up. That's what you get for trying to use metal.
This goes down, though.
Hello?
That's a thing that'll blow up.
One thing I remember, there's a lot of, like, hidden areas in here that give you stuff like ancient arrows.
Booyah.
Kind of what makes the whole, like, I know with some of the earlier speedruns when they were just kind of trying to get to Hyrule Castle with Naked Link, that they were still able to basically stock themselves up on what they need in order to take on the boss.
And also, I'm pretty sure that, yeah, you can get from here into the lockup, because, of course, the guard's chamber would be connected to the dungeon. At least, I believe so. I might also just be making it up because my brain is confusing seeing it in Age of Calamity.
Yes, actually, I remember this quite vividly.
Uh-oh.
Age of Calamity is interesting because it does reuse a lot of areas, like, straight up from... How did you miss that? It uses a lot of areas straight up from, like, the original geography, but every now and then you get one or two small changes that, you know, changes it up, and, of course, you know, if we're going back to play it like in this, you know, it'll overwrite your memories.
But I think that it will do if this map is pointing us in a vaguely correct direction.
And now, the final insult. He's out this bitch.
Just dematerialized him.
That's what he gets for his brother giving us trouble in the Trial of the Sword there.
Now we need to find a way down. Should be around there somewhere. Maybe we have to take that path you were talking about, Rich.
Yeah, it's looking like, if I'm looking at this map, we definitely need to head outdoors to be able to get into the area. It's clearly a case of previously you were probably able to make it there, but since everything got destroyed and dilapidated, didn't quite work out.
Ooh, that is further than it looked.
It's a big castle.
I can wait as long as you can. Alright, let's backtrack a little bit.
Oh no, so if you stay outside,
Oh, okay.
then I think you should be able to make it into one of the nooks.
Oh yeah, there's a door just there. What's in the nook? It's in the bloody nook.
Don't think it'll be in here. What you are looking for on your map are the orange doors,
Uh-huh.
and those orange doors are what will lead you inside. Oh, there's the waterfall I went up.
Bloody hell. Bloody hell, Nor. Well, I'm gonna have a little snacky poo if you don't mind.
It would be a good idea.
We also need a special hat.
Wearing a special hat. No! Gotta wear the armor, silly Tom.
Oh, right. I remembered it being the hat, but I guess I'm remembering wrong as well.
I'll put my armor back on. Dum-de-dum. My special hat. Right, so just around here, Rich?
Yes?
I think, is it that entrance right there? The one that's right by him?
Yes, the one that is roughly to the south-ish.
Oh man, I like barely explored any of this, or if I did, it was like I was just going around obliterating everything. Like forget you, 'cause, like there's a whole bunch of chests, but a lot of them are just like silver rupees.
So I think you might have to move out a bit towards the edges.
Okay, mate.
Luckily, the whole castle is basically structured like just one big cone. It's like a reverse funnel. It's funneling you guys all up to the top. So you just kind of, you can spiral around it, or you can go up it.
Sorry, I panicked.
That was hilarious, because this dude's like, I am the boss of the first gatehouse, one of Ganondorf's 4 Elite 4, and you're just like, no, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Power levels were just not even comparable.
Right, so I think if you, head forward over there.
I'm just enjoying the scenery, honestly. Hey. The hell is down there?
I think you do want to drop down there.
Alright, well if you insist.
Oh, please let it be right.
This is seeming familiar, for sure.
Yes, this is looking vaguely Lockup-y.
Vaguely. Oh, I see, that's just a thing you can use to get up there.
Good luck if you don't have the Zora stuff and you come here early.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's hard mode.
And that's why I guess you can also warp out of here in the menu.
It's kind of the whole design strategy of the whole dungeon is like, good luck if you didn't get, you know, any of the game. It's like, this is...
Yeah.
I see jail cells. I think this is the lockup.
So basically you need to, I believe, get into the cell where we entered.
Okay, dokie. Oh, hang on. No way through there, it seems.
Or if you keep, oh no, turn around.
Yes.
Go round. Go to your left.
Yes.
Go to your right. I don't know whether you need to follow this round.
I think this is where we came from.
This is where you get in from the outside.
Oh, yes, of course.
The West Passage.
Yeah,
there
that's
you go.
the West Passage, so head back in, that's fine.
Hyrule Castle. It's just a series of tunnels.
Yeah, it's a bit more complicated than that.
Some tunnels are nicer than others.
I think there was a bomb site up front.
Yeah, there must be, because I don't really see where else.
Yeah, it's right there between the torches.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. They even put torches there to make you know for sure.
I seize you. Nope, don't need to waste one of these. Is this blow-upable? Oh, hey.
Nope, it's just that.
Jailbreak!
I'll add to the list of crimes of Link. Just free it all.
We want to head over to the left of, well, so basically behind us right now.
Just killing a dude. What's up?
Yeah, once it's safe.
Hang on, just about to commit a war crime.
Silly Tom, lizards don't have rights.
So, yes, you want to head down this way, and then I want to say, over to your... There we go.
Woohoo!
We need to take down a Stalnox, but once it's defeated, we will have the most powerful shield in the game.
Hell yeah. Hello, lad.
You got a little something on your head there, dude.
So nice of them, though, to hide this little boss fight that, you know, for lore purposes, you have to do.
Oh, of course.
Jeez, look at that damage. But then I just remembered, right, that's not his real HP. The real HP comes in once his eye flops out.
And then it took him an oddly a long time to die, didn't it?
Yeah. What a fool.
Oh, never mind, it's already almost dead.
Nice.
God, the Master Sword is powerful now, huh?
Oh yeah. We didn't go through like 50 billion trials for it not to be, mate.
Oh, there's a stone there with looking like some lore on it.
Let's read it. Oh.
Were they keeping that in here even before the end times?
Doggy!
Best shield in the game, and if I recall correctly, it is indestructible.
I'm not sure about that. Citation needed.
I was wrong about Epona being indestructible. I'm gonna Google it to see if it's true.
I think it's nigh indestructible. It's like, it's just a boot, but like, you could.
All this money, and I'm not going to be able to spend it afterwards.
Like I said, there's like a weird amount of like silver rupees too, just for some reason. Like, who's to where? Pourquoi? But I guess like if you wanted to, again, for someone who snuck in here early game and is just barely surviving, you know, that the silver rupee, I guess, is a nice reward to run back and retreat with.
So I can confirm it is not indestructible. It can take 20 Guardian Blasts, which is the most out of anything. Which is a lot.
So it's the most, well, it's the least destructible of the lot. You've basically done everything that's important in here, so let's go beat Ganon!
Yeah. I really like this version of Hyrule Castle.
It's really cool.
It's also nice that it incorporates a bit of nature in between the castle parts. Like, you can clearly tell, like, this castle, like, it's obviously not going to be the same castle in all the Zelda games, but this one is, like, it was built on this mountain. Like, the mountain is a part of it. It's not just, you know, a castle on a flat plain. It's like, no, this is on this mountain. This is, like, we made this castle like a real castle would be, where it's, you know, you upgrade it over time and stuff. It's cool.
That's probably to the credit of like the world design on here, is that they put the location where they put Hyrule Castle does make sense as a, you know, like as a military fortress, like how an actual castle would be. Because how unfortunate would it have been if it, like, you know, just Hyrule Castle just looked completely jutted into the middle of Hyrule. Like, but no, guys, it's well designed. It's all very well put together.
I think there is like Link's diary somewhere, but I can't for the life of me remember where it is.
I don't remember Link's diary, but I know you probably got Zelda's diary when we went for the memory there. I don't remember Link's diary though.
There is a third one, I'm pretty sure.
The game is Link's diary.
Yeah, I guess it would be. Going up. Nah, mate, sit down.
How about a trip to another dimension?
Well, that's where they're going.
So apparently, in the Japanese version, Zelda's diary is actually Link's diary.
Ah.
What?
They switched it over. Yeah, it was written first person in Link's perspective in the Japanese and Russian versions, but in this one it's Zelda's diary instead. So that's an interesting choice to change it up.
What the heck?
Tom, you do realise you don't need to kill that particular Guardian.
I'm aware.
Richie, are you aware that yes, he does?
Well, I am now.
Well, glad I could bring that to your attention.
Alrighty. Get our best armor on. If there was another thing, I apologize, but I am ready to finish this game now, so let's fucking do it!
Don't forget to stuff some attack up food in your face.
Ah, yes, yes. Bit of a delayed thing here, but okay.
The one that will give us the longest amount of time.
You want nanas? I'll give you nanas.
Where is my thing? Yeah.
Really? None of y'all watched the Rugrat movie?
Nope.
I did.
God!
It's been a while.
Before I started, I crammed every nana I could into a cooking pot, and that's where I got all these attack ups from in the first place.
Glad you did. I've been telling you to cook your bananas for like weeks, but I guess I didn't say. The guide says to, so.
It's all gooey in here, Link. Please, help.
I'm sorry. But my
Link, I hope you brought several bananas.
One for me, one for Ganon. Oh my god. It would make sense he'd have Guardian lasers. I think, like, a going theory is he was rebuilding himself with tech, because you can see, like, the Sheikah shrine things leading to his cocoon.
It definitely makes sense. Makes sense, just kind of the whole Ganon's malice, this Ganon's incarnation not having a physical form, just being, you know, the big cloud, and this is just all it's trying to gather up to try and make a body, make something physical.
Oh, I gotta say, not the best final bosses in any Zelda game, but definitely some of the more imposing.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, I remember seeing this for the first time and thinking, good god, that is terrifying.
I was lucky enough that I never had how he looked spoiled, so when I got here I was like, oh my god, that's what he is, huh?
I too managed to avoid spoilers. Like, I really had no idea, so I saw the whole, like, bug get up coming out of, you know, the little heart, pupa that it had. I think it's really cool.
Now my moment has finally come. Brace yourself, Ganon, for the sting of my revenge!
And this is where all that preamble pays off, guys.
Alright, power of friendship.
This will be our final opportunity. We will not fail.
Sword Blast, go!
Let's go, little guy. Now, open up wide, Ganon.
100 years in the making. Hold on, princess. Our moment has arrived.
I love how they use this to actually reveal the Champions Ballad at, I think it was the 2017 Game Awards, which were probably the best ones, I'm gonna be honest. Somehow this does not vaporize the entire castle and the grounds.
Well, it's because it's the magic of goodness. It's not just a laser. It's a friendship laser.
Ah, this isn't goodness at all, you fucks!
And it's raining it down on him. Well, I mean, like, the whole castle could be a divine beast. Maybe the castle was designed to be shot with the animal lasers and focus it there. Who knows? The Sheikah work in mysterious ways.
Also, it did look like there were sort of 4 separate funnels for the beams to go through, and then they all hit together and then shot downward. So there's clearly something going on. But yes, obviously, if you do not beat any of the delightful divine beasts and all the blights, you will have to face them before you take on Calamity Ganon. And also, you don't get that free half health bar of damage beforehand. So you're going in for a more challenging battle, but in the grand scheme of things, you might be alright. This first phase is not too terrifying. It's the next phase that gets particularly like, oh my god, what are you doing, you monster?
Oh, don't you worry. Ah! I think I'm just fated to, like, fall to warp like Ganon's spear.
Hope you guys are all good and up to date on your parrying. Hope you're really, do you love parrying? I love parrying.
You ain't knocking me out of this.
The good news is Tom is good at parrying, because I certainly wasn't when I got to that phase.
Agreed. Like, I enjoyed fighting Calamity Ganon, but if you are not really up to date with understanding how the parry and the flurry rushes work, then you are going to be in for a really awful time.
Now here comes something that basically demands you a fucking perfect parry.
Yeah, I mean, this is basically the phase where I was just like, I'm not necessarily having a brilliant time anymore.
I'm not having fun!
Because, yeah, the only way to damage him at this point is to get a flurry rush on him, or a perfect parry. And, yeah, let's just say, obviously if you figured it out and got the timing down, you're fine. But considering the majority of the game doesn't require you to master that skill, it's a little bit more frustrating.
Thankfully, if you have Daruk there, when he breaks, he will give you some stuff as well.
So you do have options available.
Oh, look at him. They even gave him like an abdomen and everything. It's disgusting. I love it.
Oh, wow!
Whoa, okay, that's new. That's sick.
Pro Gamer and Tom64.
Done.
Well, are we though?
That was an excellent run of that fight.
Nah, I kinda ate shit a couple of times, but overall I'm pretty happy with it.
I was not expecting perfect speedrunner fight, Tom. That was like miles better than anything I achieved when I fought fight.
No, you're just fluffing up my ego, but I appreciate it, mate. You're a kind soul, so you are. I'm fucking bleeding Ribena. Call a doctor. I could just go for a Ribena now, actually.
That's fair. Rabena's lovely.
Guys, please, doctor, anytime now.
Yeah, if you're a oozing black sludge, you definitely want to get that, checked before it builds up and you experience death lasers.
True. Also, what was the purpose of this room exactly?
It's the ballroom. It's the ballroom where they dance every Zelda day.
Every Zelda day. Happy Zelda day to you. Happy Zelda day to you too, sir. Fuck it out.
You tell me Hyrule wouldn't have a Zelda day as a holiday.
No, they absolutely do.
Yeah, the way that I would look at it is basically like Rapunzel's birthday in Tangled. That's exactly how I'd imagine it.
Ganon.
Also, look, Scrungus has come to join us in this final clash.
I'm glad you're here with me, Scrungus, here at the end of all things. I think if you don't have a horse, it just gives you a random one, because it's kind of required for this particular thing.
That was me. I didn't really have like a playthrough long horse relation. I just, barely rode on one, so it just gives you a random ass horse. Cause, I mean, yeah, this is the messaging of the game. Like, it was all about the big wide open field. It's completely appropriate that we should have our big final fight in the big open field against his like more animal form.
That said, it feels more like a victory lap than anything.
To be honest, that was the intention of this phase. Because if you look at the challenges that you have had to face throughout Breath of the Wild, including that final section of the Calamity Ganon fight,
For it is never forgotten.
yeah, it's not an easy ride. So having a victory lap just feels right.
Ah, there it is.
I was gonna say, the bow's in front of you.
I had to pick it up first. Well, at least I remembered to set the bloody thing this time, unlike a certain Mr. Grumpus.
Silver arrows. Alright, you know what you do with those.
Alright, what you got for me, Mr. Dark Beast Ganon? I would have put him in the first phase, and then, we go from there.
Yeah, I could have seen that, but then again, it is nice to have a, like I said, the victory lap that makes you feel real cool as you do it.
Because they've done this before where it didn't end up being a victory lap, like when they did it in Twilight Princess where you had to ride with Zelda there. Like, it gets a little frustrating at times, so it, like, this entire type segment, it does really depend just on how well it's used as well, because sometimes a victory lap can turn into a roadblock right at the end where you're like, I just want to finish this boss fight.
I mean, obviously because you have unlimited arrows during this fight, as far as I'm aware, it is impossible to lose the Bow of Light once you've got it.
You sell it for money.
I think you can hack it into your inventory, but the arrows of light deal no damage to enemies other than Ganon.
It is purely this boss fight and this boss fight alone weapon, but that is fine, because I mean it looks damn cool, and also, can I just say, it's really cool in Age of Calamity as well.
Oh yeah, you're gonna love that shit, Maxie.
I'm not a fan of the design of the actual bow in this. I think that the bow itself, looking like a crescent moon here, ironic, I know, is actually not the coolest. I think there are better designs for it.
I mean, you're not wrong, but then also, considering this game has had such relationships with the moon, it makes sense that it has a moon-like design.
Oh no! Not the taint! It burns!
My Ganummy.
Oh no. No, booted from this call. We're removed.
He's glowing with an awesome power.
That looks like a final attack coming.
It looks like a homing attack.
This bitch is toast!
Can't believe that there was just a Kirby final boss just hiding inside Ganon's forehead like that.
You're not wrong.
So yeah, that was The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Holy hell, when the fuck are they gonna reveal 2 properly? Because I'm hyped!
Agreed.
Zelda, you look pretty good for someone who was, like, trapped in stasis for 100 years. Then again, I could say the same thing about me, so...
Well, looks like we're all dining on bacon tonight, boys.
Send this fucker to the deli of beyond.
At least add a little salt!
I'm just gonna come back in 100 years, why do you bother?
Well, they have to. That's just the cycle of the myth of the hatred. Although it would be kind of neat to see a Zelda game go full meta, where it'd be like, alright, how do we now combat the systemic problem of just the malice always being reincarnated? But they can also very well not do that, and that's okay too.
Can't see the haters because I'm blocking them out with my light magic.
This is the power of the block button, y'all. Like, just use it. It's okay.
And now they're not talking shit about my favourite Babby cartoon. Good.
Well, it's not even that. They are doing it, but you don't have to see it.
That is so... It's straddling the line between being corny and amazing.
Oh no, it's good. I love it. I love it so much. Because it's you know, the first thing you see when you get your mission, it's mission, destroy Ganon, and then boom, mission complete. We did it, boys.
Ah, yes.
Very simple video game. You're given one main task, and it's just up to you to figure out how you do it.
And an extremely simple ending as well. Quite divisive, actually. But if you've played as much of the game as I have, I found it to be extremely heartwarming.
I never lost faith in you over these many years.
It's a game where like the narrative and the cutscenes take a back seat. It would be very out of touch of the game's language. Just like at the last second, be like, okay, who's ready for 50 cutscenes? It's like, no, you should have found the book. You should have found the memories. That was the whole point.
Aww.
And yeah, it's just really sweet. And then really, the true ending of the game is the ending that you get sort of if you've collected all of the memories. That ultimately is the sort of true kind of end point with the story, which is much more fitting and much more sort of continuous and complete.
So, since we're in the credits territory now, Mexi, do you want to give your final thoughts on the game, mate?
Yeah, I just kind of want to just real quick thoughts on the ending, though. Just having a true ending in a Zelda game is really cool, really unique. Usually with Zelda games, at best, you get like divergent endings, you know, spear tracks, whether she hears sword clashes or she hears a train whistle, kind of depending on Link's career choice there. But I think it's really cool that this game gives us a whole ending, something small, something that, you know, the payoff is more the relationship or the character development that was built, not really like getting a whole action scene. No, you get just moments. That's all this game is like you explore for moments, and it makes sense that the game at the end would reward you with moments.
Yo, shout outs to Fujibayashi, by the way, for directing the game. I think he did great work with Ayanumu.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we had that name was not said nearly enough during this playthrough, so yeah, absolutely amazing on the direction. The entire shift that this game put the Zelda franchise on is like something that I'm still so excited for. So I'm glad we're gonna be looking at the Age of Calamity stuff next, because hot damn, Zelda is good and exciting now, ain't it, boys?
Oh, it's so good to have you back talking Zelda with us, Mexi.
Oh, thanks. It's fun to be back.
So, just thoughts on the game in general, mate?
I love it. It's definitely one of my favorite Zeldas just because it leans heavily into Zelda as a game of exploration, of just kind of going out and finding fun stuff. In terms of scope, in terms of size, I think it's really great. Again, I'm just really excited to see what now they do with this new formula that they've created for, you know, Zelda design. It's again, shame that the dungeons couldn't be more varied. Shame certain things like the shrines kind of start to feel a bit more repetitive.
Yeah.
And I feel it just more like getting the formula set up, like that these are the things that we can now expect in the future that can be played with, that can be improved upon. So again, I see Breath of the Wild very much also as a platform game that I really like, and I'm also just looking forward to playing later stuff here. But it's also just a fun game to just play and get lost in the trees and the woods. Like, it's great.
Tanner, how about you, mate?
I don't know if I've said this during my playthrough, or during this playthrough, but it might be a bit controversial. I actually don't love the 3D Zelda games. I love the 2D Zelda games a lot more. I enjoy the 3D ones, but I think what my big problem with a lot of the 3D ones is there's so many times where it's just you miss, for example, shooting an eyeball on a wall in one corner of a room, and it's like, and if you don't find it, then you're stuck, right? I love that this game is so open that when I'm watching you play, I'm seeing so many ways that I would have never even thought about to solve problems. And I love that open-endedness. And I'm gonna bring it back around to my career, but like, this game is such a great example of that open-ended design that is so important for, especially like children to learn about. To learn that there's not one solution to stuff. If you can think of a solution, then go for it, right? And even if it's stuff where it's like, it's not the most effective way, but you want to do it, right? Then go for it, right? Work hard for that one thing that you think is cool. And I love that open-endedness. I love the ability to just say to yourself, I want to do that. And even if it's stupid, like, chopping down a tree to stasis it and then send it flying and ride it like, Tao Pai Pai, right?
Yeah,
it's like,
for
if you want to be a crazy person and do that, then you have it. And I love that. That sort of idea for game design, I think, is so much cooler and so different from this world of linear hallways that are movies that we do see quite often now. So I love this game. I'm looking forward to seeing how they evolve, more so the engine than anything else with Breath of the Wild 2. Like, as much as I love hearing people talk about, like, what's the story going to be like? What's, what are we going to see for dungeons? Like, for me, one thing is like, what are more variables that can be added to increase the amount of just wacky creativeness you can have? Changing the weather, changing the size of Link, right? Changing, like, all these little things would add up together to make, in my eyes, just a bigger, crazier open world. And so I love this game, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes from similar games in the future.
Okay, I guess, Rich, you can give your thoughts and then I'll give mine.
Yeah, so I agree very much so. It's Breath of the Wild is a great game. There are certain game design decisions that you look at and you go, I'm not sure whether I'm 100% happy with, like the weapon durability setup.
Yeah.
And so on, which are frustrating, but it doesn't ruin what is fundamentally a really well-constructed game. And I'm not the biggest fan of open world titles because it's just like, why? Just let me sort of have a bit more of fun and know where to go. But I really enjoyed my experience with Breath of the Wild because it was just that freedom, and it wasn't a boring type of freedom either. It was just, here is this big wide open world where there's lots to do and you're always coming across something. Go and have fun. And that was just really exciting and very unlike really any open world game that I personally have played. So it did just come in like a breath of fresh air, and obviously it was particularly exciting because it was a Switch launch title, so it was like the first game that I was playing on the Switch, which was an exciting piece of kit when it came out. It still is, to be fair.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so it all just came together to create a really fascinating, really enjoyable experience. And yeah, I too am really excited to see where they're going to go with this, because I think they've got a really interesting gameplay idea to how this can all work. And I'd be interested to see how, yes, they will evolve that. I think my interest more so now is in terms of the narrative and so on, but that's because I like my narratives and that's how I work. But yeah, I can't wait to see where it goes.
I guess the most succinct way I can describe Breath of the Wild is, it didn't have everything I necessarily want from a Zelda, per se, such as like fully fleshed out dungeons and so on and so forth, but it had everything Zelda absolutely needed at this point in time. Oh, they can say that Skyward Sword started to experiment with stuff like the stamina meter and so on, but regardless of how you feel about that game, it had become symbolic of stagnation, for lack of a better word, and just going back to basics, I feel, but on a much wider scale, is exactly what this franchise needed. Giving you the freedom to do stuff in basically any order once you leave the Great Plateau. You can go straight to Calamity Ganon and kill him the second you get off the plateau. That's up to you. You can go around, you can do one Divine Beast, you can do all four, it doesn't fucking matter. You can do challenge modes for yourself, you don't have to upgrade your hearts, you don't have to upgrade your stamina. Freedom is what Breath of the Wild is about, and I hope they can just fluff up the narrative, like Richie said, and just bring all these extra bits in to give us the Majora's Mask to Breath of the Wild's Ocarina of Time, and I think we'll have something special on our hands there.
Without a doubt.
So, suppose we should really go, I don't know, get something to eat and whatnot. It has been 100 years.
I'm starving. I hope you like bananas.
Ah, yes, that's a fine castle there. Why is mine ruined? I'm sorry, King, but, you know. Ah.
Daruk's just like, so do we ascend now? Or do we leave?
We just kind of linger, I think.
Link is that dinosaur. All my friends are dead.
It's a very melancholic ending. It's a typical sort of thing for the Zelda franchise, but hey, that's why I like this series. It gives you emotions rather than just, well done, you won. I won, in other words.
Boy, that cake was delicious.
I suppose that's worth a spirit orb, huh? Ha! Jesus Christ. Ah, there he is, Big Bird in the distance there, and this is the ending you get if you've gotten all the memories.
We'll make our way to Zora's domain. Divine Beast Varuta. Looks like it's stopped working.
Could that be a little plot thread for the second game? I don't know, because as per the trailer, they went underneath Hyrule Castle for some reason.
The least we can do is visit him and offer him some closure.
God knows, but hey, maybe another thing with Breath of the Wild 2 is it's about closure.
Yes.
There's so much more for
Another
us to
good
do,
theme,
and so
don't
many
we?
painful memories that we must bear.
It's so great to see, like, Zelda go from this really insecure, almost like scared place to truly standing on her own 2 feet at the end of this story. And I guess her haircut in the second game is symbolic of that, so.
It's symbolic. I mean, it's the point's a little overused, but you know, a cliche is a cliche because it's classic.
I can no longer hear the voice inside the sword.
So guys, this has been the HellfireComms playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. I've been Entom64.
I've been Tanner of the North.
I've been Richie.
I'm MBM.
And yeah, I guess the next playthrough is coming up, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and maybe a couple of other things that we haven't fully, you know, fleshed out and finalised yet, but I love this ending. Thanks for sticking with us, guys. We know this was a long playthrough, but we're happy to have done it for y'all. So we'll see you next time for another Zelda playthrough with the HellfireComms crew. Bye for now, guys. Ta-ta.